federal subpoena served Monday at Dalton Village Hall, asking for all payments, expense reimbursements, per diems, and credit card expenditures for Mayor Henyard.
Tiffany was hiding them. Hey, girl, you played yourself with that. You really should have turned those in. I don't know. You should have just crossed your fingers, and turned them in and hope that their eyes ain't working good that day and they don't find the that you did. They don't notice it. Don't look at me like that. You did this, not me. Okay? Hey, y'all, it's your girl J9 Eve. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, get into the comments. Let me know what you think about this. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of the trustees, the Village of Dalton trustees in particular. I want you to put yourselves in the minds of these people who are been trying so hard to work with this particular person who they just tried to back her up, even though when she would talk, her English was definitely broke the hell up. But they wanted to believe in her. Say, I believe in me. Okay. And they're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna stick with you. But every 5 seconds she's telling you to go fuck yourself when you ask her for information. But you keep trying. You keep trying, and then she keeps telling everybody that y'all is crazy and that y'all just ain't supporting her, that y'all hating, that y'all are crazy. Essentially, that you guys are crazy. And you've been so gaslit. You've been so gaslit that you don't even know what to do anymore. You don't know what to do anymore. It's like, maybe you are crazy. Maybe it is you. It's what they're thinking. And then one day the feds show up. And then you go, maybe it wasn't just me. Okay? We're going to revisit this moment because it was a wonderful moment. I can't believe how long ago this moment was. These are always funny moments to me just because of this guy, Keith Freeman. He was her administrator, stood by her side forevermore, because that's what accomplices are for.
Drama in Dalton tonight. We have learned FBI agents were at the Village Hall this afternoon.
Yes.
All this amid those ongoing investigations into corruption involving Mayor Tiffany Henyard. NBC5's Natalie Martinez live in Dalton tonight with the breaking details. Natalie?
We are just outside Village Hall, and certainly there are a lot of questions out here, Stefan, but let me tell you about what we know, and that is that a handful of FBI agents showed up to this area earlier today. What is not clear is exactly why. Now, here's another statement in part that we got from the FBI saying that the FBI was conducting court-authorized law enforcement activity in that area today. Department of Justice policy prevents the FBI from commenting on the nature of any investigation that may be occurring. Now, we know.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, oh my gosh. Now, what I like to think about myself personally is what Tiffany says. What Tiffany says and what Tiffany thinks and feels are not the same. They're not the same thing. They're not even on the same wavelength. They have nothing to do with each other. They wouldn't recognize each other if they passed each other on the street, could not pick out each other in a lineup. Reality and what Tiffany says don't have any association with each other. Okay. So what I be wondering is what Tiffany's thinking when that happens, when the feds show up, when everybody's saying, you need to go to jail, you is doing all of this. And then suddenly the feds show up. You see it on the news. The feds is just hanging out at this building, coming out with boxes of stuff. What is she thinking? We know what she says, but like I said, that doesn't have anything to do with reality of what she's thinking, the fear that she actually has. She's very good at concealing her genuine feelings. She's very good at that. The problem with that is that it's only an effective thing when you have an audience. When you're sitting in a room all by yourself, there's just you. There's no audience to deceive or pretend like everything's fine or hide things from. There's nothing. There's just you. That's why it matters what you do, because you have to live with yourself when no one else is around. If you were an asshole, if you did these horrible things, if you've been lying all fucking day, you then have to go home and look in the mirror. And I know when you look in the mirror, you be like, now, what did I do today? Nothing. I didn't do nothing because I was lying the whole day, which means it's like the whole day didn't count. The whole day didn't count. The day happened, but it didn't happen. If your whole day is a lie, the day didn't happen. Okay? None of the stuff counted. Nothing counted. Okay? She's essentially given away 4 years of her life just to lie, to tell stories. And then she gave away all of her money that she got from that to her boyfriend. Just a feeling that I have. Just a feeling that I have.
No, Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard has been the focus of NBC5 investigations for weeks, and that several high-level officials do face lawsuits, including one surrounding a business trip to Las Vegas that happened last May. A top administrator is now facing fraud charges. The village administrator, Keith Freeman, is accused of several false statements regarding income and fees from a private consulting firm. And Chicago's former mayor, Lori Lightfoot, was...
I'm going to tell you, not long after this happened, he flipped. Then they had to go out and they had to hire the same person that Tiffany earlier, like when at her inauguration and stuff, she mentioning this lady's name, wanting to bring her in to help with some stuff. And then the trustees went and found her to investigate Tiffany in particular.
Was hired as a special investigator in several of these issues. Now, in recent weeks, doors here have been locked, only allowing a few people inside the building at any time to conduct business. But village trustees that we spoke to, one in particular who we just spoke to, tells me this is a relief.
I'm feeling a sigh of relief. For the last 3 years, myself, the board members, and the residents have been feeling like no one was coming to save us in regards to providing us with the information that we need to make decisions regarding our finances with the village. So today I feel as if we're maybe one step closer to having some of the answers.
And that's Norwood, the sweetest of them all. Okay. And they were feeling relief, but that was still a year ago. And they just now got rid of her. So that she still had a year more of frustration to go through.
That trustee believes that subpoenas are involved. But again, I want to reiterate that is not entirely clear what exactly the FBI activity was involved with. The FBI activity itself is enough to get tongues wagging here. Lots of people outside, I should say about a dozen people outside, that is constituents and people who live in the area, wondering what is going on.
I'm happy that justice is being served.
Dalton trustee Brittany Norwood reacts to the latest federal subpoena served Monday at Dalton Village Hall.
Tiffany. Always stealing.
Asking for all payments, expense reimbursements, per diems, and credit card expenditures for Mayor Henyard.
Oh, yeah, they never got those either because Tiffany was hiding them. Hi, Tiffany. Hey, girl. You played yourself with that. You really should have turned those in. I don't know. You should have just crossed your fingers, and turned them in and hope that their eyes ain't working good that day and they don't find the shit that you did. They don't notice it. Don't look at me like that. You did this, not me. Okay? I can't believe she was hiding stuff even from the feds, honey. Even from the feds, Tiffany? Come on.
Beginning just before her election in 2021.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the People's Mayor and People's Supervisor.
The same information is also requested for Henyard's top assistant, Keith Freeman.
And look at him. He was so proud of himself. He's like, I'm tall. I can do what I want. It's tall people in prison. Lots of them. Plenty of them. You gonna fit right in. Okay. He's so docile. Have you noticed how docile like Keith Freeman is nowadays? Like when he be at the meeting. Well, now they finally got their new administrator, so he's not in anymore. Since he flipped sides, and he's just telling everything, constantly. He's so docile. He's so, just what you need. He's very much that. And it's so funny. He flips so fast. Some people are not built for that life. Apparently, Keith Freeman is one of those people.
And a pair of businesses controlled by Freeman, as well as several trustees and village employees who've traveled with Henyard. The subpoena also shows the FBI is looking into complaints by Dalton business owners whose licenses have been held up by the village, asking for licensing information for 10 bars and restaurants, including 2 that were raided and closed by Dalton police in February, Rinky's Bar and Pablo's Cafe and Bar, after Fox 32 visited those businesses to ask about their owners' frustration.
It's like 10 police cars came in and they start pushing customers from here And he said, if you don't leave, we're going to lock you up.
And it's clear the feds are focusing on all the expensive out-of-state travel by Henyard and her crew, including first-class plane tickets, asking for travel records for all trips, but specifying Washington, D.C., Las Vegas, and Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, and that is how you know it's some stuff that is clearly a problem. Because if you know, when she went to Washington to go to some mayor convention thing or whatever, some mayor gathering at the White House. So because she was the mayor, she was going to the White House to go and meet Biden. She went and met Biden. Now, she did that as the mayor because she was the mayor. Makes sense, right? But it was charged to the Thornton Township job. She charged that trip, the flights, the stay, the everything was charged to the Thornton Township, which is her other job. So she's so busy just swiping cards and using cards for whatever that she ain't even paying attention to what's paying for what. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how she paid for this. She paid for what she did for this job with that other job. It's like, say you work at AT&T and you work at Verizon also. You work at two different phone companies. They don't know about each other. You gonna go to a convention, okay, for this AT&T job. But you so busy swiping whatever card for whatever that you charge your AT&T trip to Verizon. You getting fired, bitch. You getting fired, okay? You can't do that. You can't do it. So because this Washington, D.C. trip is on here, that's how you know shit's gonna be fucked up. Like, everything that they're gonna be finding from her. The Springfield, Illinois, this was the march. Remember she did the little walking, the walk to Springfield? But they didn't just walk to Springfield. They were all laid up in these nice hotels. She's paying for everybody, all these people that are going with her to stay in hotels, and she's paying the people to drive around with a DJ on the truck. You know what I'm saying? Like all the people who were they had to pay for this. She'll come up with these ideas, and now Thornton Township or Village of Dalton, they all got to pay for this shit. They're all just paying for her random ass, weird, fucking expensive ideas. And then she said, I'll be bringing in the bag. And nobody ever sees this bag. This bag never, ever shows up. They said, I bring in grants. I bring in this. And I said, where are they? Where are they? Where they at? They never show up. She just full of shit. She would have fit in really well with the type of shit that's going on right now. Like, this would have been her time to shine. Oh, Tiffany. Drop the bag. Drop the bag. Look at it. And in Vegas, all hell broke loose in Vegas. She didn't do anything it was supposed to be work related, but nothing happened that was work related. So that's why that. But then also that weird thing happened with homes in Vegas. So everywhere she goes, just some trouble.
They're questioning the finances because that's been a real big concern of mine as a board member. We've been wondering how the money is being spent.
Mayor, why do you need so many officers, details, or your security? Last year, Fox 32 reported.
Why is she being like all these people are just their whole job? Your job is to just walk around with the mayor. You being paid $100,000 a year to just walk around with the mayor? I wonder how proud your wife is. So I see you got this ring on your finger. How proud your wife is to know that you ain't shit. And that you over here ain't doing shit. You over here like perpetrating and stealing from the community. That's your job. I wonder how your wife feel about that. Okay? How she feel? Does she feel like she landed a good one or no? Jeez.
Reported on Henyard's pricey police security detail, with Dalton officers working thousands of hours of overtime to drive the mayor around and sometimes run her personal errands. Well, the FBI took notice, asking for shift records for a number of officers assigned to that detail, including Officer Terry Young, who last May reported working 303 hours over a 2-week period. When we asked Henyard about it, Mayor, mind if I ask you a couple questions about your security detail?
Absolutely not.
I'm asking her.
Yeah, she said no.
And the subpoena requests records for Henyard's self-named charitable foundation.
Yeah, that she has tried to run back. She tried to run that back, that wasn't her. She didn't start that. Somebody else did that in her name. And you know, she just, you know, allowed her, I guess, to use her own Facebook page to do it because the damn sure was Tiffany's Facebook page. Her Facebook page used to be Good Burger. She used to have a Facebook page that was for Good Burger, her Good Burger restaurant. When that closed down, and she did that the Tiffany Henyard Cares Cancer Foundation thing. She just converted her Good Burger Facebook page into that. So that Cancer Society page that she had was the same page as her Good Burger page. But she said it wasn't her. Tiffany big dumb. She going right to jail. Like, she going right to jail. I'm gonna tell you, just perjury right there on its own. If she tries to even almost say under oath that that foundation thing is not hers,
which, as we reported last year, used Dalton employees and vehicles during a fundraising march to Springfield. Trustee Norwood says the FBI subpoena is targeting information that even board members have not been able to access.
I'm happy that it seems like the residents will eventually get the answers to the questions that they've been asking.
In all, the FBI has served a total of 5 subpoenas over the past 2 weeks on Dalton and Thornton Township, where Henyard also serves as supervisor. This latest subpoena gives Dalton officials until May 20th to turn over the requested records to the federal grand jury.
Yeah, Tiffany's so cooked. She don't even know what to do with herself. Everybody who's associated themselves with Tiffany is all looking over their shoulders, just waiting to see if the feds are going to show up to their door to ask them some questions. And they better be honest when it happens. They better be honest. They better just roll over and just tell everything that they know and hope for the best. Cross your fingers. Oh, I just thought it was fun to look back on that thing. Even that took a year. Think it in perspective. It took a year for it to switch from the feds finally showed up to now she's out, and the feds are actually, being like, okay, well, now we can get her. We can get her. We could go ahead and get her now. They don't like to try to grab you up. It's very sticky business trying to grab them while they're still in office. It's just a lot more steps and things you got to go through, or just things that have to happen afterwards. Once you do it, then they got to do it. So it's just easier if you wait till they get out of office. And now that she's out of both spots, they are creeping. Okay. The rumor is that Tiffany bought a house in LA. I don't know if this is true. Okay. I don't know. I just don't know. But it would be stupid if she did. I mean, it's already been reported where it is. So hopefully she didn't do anything that done. They're just gonna take it. It's gonna get took. That's the government's house now. Okay. Y'all behave, because I'm not gonna do it. Absolutely not. Just no. Mama love you. Yes, she do. Ooh. Peace.